Hi guys, welcome to the Wrestling Retrospective, and in today's video I'm going to be doing my predictions for WWE Backlash 2025. So first up we have Gunther taking on Pat McAfee in a match that I'm kind of interested in. Pat hasn't wrestled in quite a while. I think he hasn't wrestled since WrestleMania 38, I believe, when he faced Austin Theory and then Vince McMahon in that kind of weird stretch near the end of WrestleMania 38. I can't remember which night it was on, I'm going to be honest with you. But yeah, no, this is very interesting. I like the story that they told with this match. I like the fact that it kind of stretches on through the Jey Uso feud with Gunther, and it kind of carried on through this, and it's a good place to put Gunther in right before he looks to be doing something kind of big at SummerSlam, whether it be Goldberg or maybe something else. But for me, this really needs to be a squash match in my opinion. I feel well, I don't know if a squash match is the right way to go actually, but what I'm expecting is for Gunther to kind of dominate for the most part. Pat will get back into it and kind of shock Gunther a bit, and then Gunther will just finish the match off and essentially just choke him out until he pretty much is nearly dead, is what I assume will happen. I think Pat will have a good showing here. He'll look good against Gunther, but it's very hard to make people not look good against Gunther. But no, for me, I don't think there's any kind of doubt that Gunther is 100% winning this match. It's just a case of how they're going to go about the match. As I said, I would rather see Gunther just absolutely obliterate Pat. I don't think that's going to be the case. I feel like they're going to want to have Pat put a good few licks in on Gunther before the match finishes. But yeah, I don't expect this one to go very long. But I expect it to kind of do what it's supposed to do, which is to make Gunther look like a force and kind of make Pat look like a proper, a good babyface showing resilience kind of thing against the bigger opponent in Gunther. Next up we have Dominic Mysterio defending the Intercontinental Championship against Penta, and yeah, I'm really in two minds about this. I really do want Dom to win. I feel like if he lost the Intercontinental Championship on first defense, it would make him look like a complete fool. But I feel like the story they could really go with here is the fact that, of course, Balor turns on Dom here and costs him the title. The fact that Liv isn't around could play into this, and kind of Dom isn't as confident as he should be because Liv isn't around. I assume he's probably going to go into the match alone against Penta, or at least at first, and the Judgment Day might show up during the match. But no, it's a weird one. As I said, they really could do the Balor turn here. Balor costs Dom the Intercontinental Championship, and then we see that feud start building towards SummerSlam. But at the same time, do they really just want to have Dom as a 1 month champion or 3 week champion and kind of be the transition between Braun and Penta? I can see them actually putting Dom in that position. I really hope they don't. I'm going to back Dom to win here. I feel like that's the safer of the two options. As I said, it wouldn't shock me if Penta won the title here due to shenanigans within the Judgment Day. Again, a similar thing when Rhea went away, it would make sense that the kind of Judgment Day is in a bit of tatters while Liv is away, even though Liv's due back probably the week after, I think, of the pay-per-view. But yeah, it's one that I'm really conflicted about because I like Penta. I feel like Penta is a fantastic wrestler, but my love for Dom is undeniable, and I would love to see him go on quite a long run with the title. But and also it makes no sense to do Dom and Balor for the title, which means that Penta would have to lose here as well. There's a lot of outlying variables that could massively affect this match, but I am going to go with Dom to retain here, though I'm not 100% confident on that one. Following that, we have the United States Championship match with Jacob Fatu defending against LA Knight, Damian Priest, and Drew McIntyre. I feel like the build for this match has been absolutely fantastic. It's been very well done. Each man's kind of faced each other than Fatu not having matches. He's just been attacking people after the match. But, we saw the matches between, obviously, Drew and Priest at WrestleMania. Priest and LA Knight have had a match, and LA Knight and McIntyre have had matches, so it kind of works. I don't get why McIntyre wasn't on SmackDown last week. I feel like that kind of hindered the build for his part in this match more than anything. But for me, they're not taking the US title off Jacob Fatu anytime soon, and I feel like it's an interesting thing to have Nick Aldis be the one that pointed out to Solo that he's the one trying to screw over Jacob. It just feels like the process of the story is going to be Jacob versus Solo at SummerSlam for the United States Championship. So as much as I would love to see LA Knight as champion, I'd love to see Priest as champion, I feel like McIntyre is too high up for the championship. I feel like he's just in the match to kind of make it better. You know, for Jacob to say he beat 2 former world champions and a former contender for a world championship is pretty big in his first title defense. If anything, Drew and Priest might even cost themselves the match and kind of brawl into the crowd or brawl away from the match. For me, LA Knight's probably taking the pin here, unfortunately. Though it's very hard to pick anyone who could take the pin here, but then they could shock everyone to have Drew take the pin, which would be a massive mistake in my opinion. But yeah, no, for me, I feel like this is going to be one of the better matches of the night. I feel like, you know, these 4 could really put on an absolute classic, given the right time and the right booking and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, for me, like, going through each one, I don't think Priest has much of a chance. I said I don't think they're going to, like, kind of put the United States title on Drew. I feel like Drew's set for a world title opportunity sooner rather than later. Knight's like just lost the title to Fatu, so it makes the most sense here that Fatu gets the win and beats like some pretty incredible competition to have his first defense against. Makes him look like a really legitimate champion. And yeah, as I say, for me, he's just not losing. He's not losing the title at all. Following that, we have the Women's Intercontinental Championship match with Lyra Valkyria defending against Becky Lynch. And I feel like this build has probably been one of the better builds for this pay-per-view. I've absolutely loved the build. I feel like Lyra has completely come out of a shell here. I don't know whether it's because it's the right dance partner or anything else, or there's just something to prove because she wasn't defending at WrestleMania. I know that she was she was in and won the Women's Tag Team Championships. But for me, these last few weeks, Lyra has completely cooked Becky Lynch on the mic. She has outdone her just in promos alone. Obviously, she did stand tall on Monday this week, and I'm going to be honest with you, I do think Becky Lynch is winning here. I feel like the real feud here is between Becky and Bayley. And I don't know. Again, it's similar to like the Dom stuff. You could have Becky Lynch win here, feud with Bayley over the Intercontinental Championship, make that title feel very important, having kind of the first of the 2 mid-card titles being fought over 2 horsewomen be the Intercontinental one. And then, you know, probably Bayley wins the title off Becky at maybe Evolution or SummerSlam. But then at the same time, could you have Bayley return, cost Becky the match? And because essentially Becky versus Bayley doesn't need the championship. And if anything, Lyra has now making that title kind of mean something. So it's kind of a tough, I don't know, like part of me is trying to convince myself that Lyra's going to win due to Bayley. But my mind is going, well, this is Becky Lynch. If they're going to want to make the Intercontinental Championship look important, they'll put the title on her, as much as Lyra has been doing very well with it over the last few weeks. So I really don't know. I feel like out of all the matches, this is the hardest one to predict. I'm going to go with Becky to get the win here. I feel like, again, it's just the thing of having such a big name on the lineage of the Intercontinental Championship. Kind of, they would prefer doing that as WWE kind of always do. But I would absolutely love it if we got the same situation with Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair, where the younger lass in Lyra Valkyria beat Becky Lynch for the championship, and then Bayley has some kind of interference here. I'm fully expecting Bayley to return at Backlash in some kind of capacity. Where she fits in, I don't know. Well, I know it's going to be in this match, but like what she does in the match, I don't know whether it'll be after the match or during the match. But no, this is one I'm really looking forward to. They had a fantastic match down in NXT for the NXT Women's Championship. I remember it really well, and it was one of the matches that I really liked. So yeah, I look forward to seeing this match again, but on the main roster. And yeah, the build for this has been fantastic. I've got nothing but positive stuff to say about this feud overall. I just hope that Lyra gets the win, but I do think Becky's going to become the new champion here. And finally, in what has to be the main event here, there's literally nothing else that could be the main event. We have John Cena versus Randy Orton one final time. Well, so we're being told, but we've been lied to about that kind of stuff before WrestleMania 28. For the WWE Championship, Cena obviously being the 17-time world champion, and yeah, reigniting this absolutely legendary feud. And for me, straight away, I'm saying that Cena wins. Now, or at least Cena walks out as champion still. Now, a lot of people have said they would love it if John Cena like harkens back to No Way Out 2008, where where Cena, that is, used his Royal Rumble win like title shot early. Randy Orton slaps the referee to get disqualified and retains the championship. If that happened, as funny as that would be, I feel like to close a pay-per-view out like that and to kind of have this feud end on a disqualification just doesn't seem right, in my opinion. And I feel like this isn't going to be a particularly long match. I don't think this is going to be a 5-star classic, but I feel like this is going to be a very good match just for those who are nostalgic like myself. This feud has literally fueled my younger fandom of wrestling. I've watched this feud all the way through, from start to finish, and yeah, I feel like this is going to be a great match. It's going to have I really hope they put like a massive feel on the match. But no, for me, Cena is probably going to win this. I'm hoping he wins it clean, or at least wins it with like either a submission or a pinfall. It isn't a disqualification finish. Yeah, in my opinion, unfortunately, Randy has got absolutely no chance here. There's no way they're going to have Cena lose the title on first defense. If they do the DQ thing, I get it, but I just think it'd be a really crappy way to finish a legendary feud off like this one. But no, there's absolutely no doubt in my mind here that John Cena walks out as champion, but I do feel like he is going to get the win as well. So those are my predictions for WWE Backlash 2025. Do put down in the comments below what your predictions are, or anything you want to see happen. If there'll be any returns, I do think we're going to get Bayley back post-Backlash, or at least at or post-Backlash. But yeah, anything else you want to see happen, anything else you think is going to happen, do put it down in the comments and we'll have a good discussion about it. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Do leave a like. I have started a second channel. I know this is a very popular YouTuber thing to do, but it's called the Random Retrospective. It'll be linked down in the description. It's just pretty much about films, about films and movies. It's about films, it's about TV, it's about football, it's about music, it's about all kinds of stuff. The first video is on the channel, was uploaded the other day, all about my favourite band, Avenged Sevenfold. So yeah, go check that out. As I said, the link is in the description, or is linked on the homepage of the channel as well. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.